Hello. Welcome in. Happy Thursday, everybody. NFL draft tonight. We're in the midst of these playoffs going on. I think Steve is coming on, so let me send him this link quickly. If you're in the chat, let me know how you guys are doing. Nathan, what's up? Dewan, what's up? Mitch, what's up? Yeah, we got playoffs. I've been smoking the NBA playoffs. I think I'm I don't even know, 8 for my last 9 or something betting wise. We've been red hot betting the NBA, so we're going to definitely try and keep that up tonight. We got the Cavs going on again. Honestly, I think these series have been pretty good, even though some of the games have not been competitive. OKC, Thunder, and Suns, Pistons Magic has been good. Blazers and Spurs, with Wemby getting hurt, that's been a little bit more competitive than we thought initially. 76ers Celtics is 1-1. Hawks Knicks is 1-1. Cavs games have been fun, even though the Cavs are up 2-0. I think that's been 2 pretty good games. And then the Lakers, Rockets, Wolves, Nuggets out west, those series have been really good too. I am not currently Dewan, but maybe when football comes, I'm gonna look into that. Maybe, I don't know. I don't know. I'm gonna think about it. Maybe there's a good chance for football. I'm gonna think about it. Nathan, who do you think Washington's taking at 7? So I have them taking Jeremiah Love in my mock draft, but I don't know if I actually think. I think if they stay at 7 and he's there, they probably would take him, Nathan. But I could see Washington moving up maybe. Like if Arizona wants to get out, I could see them going up. I could see them taking a receiver for sure. I think Carnell Tate or Tyson are in play for the Commanders, or Jeremiah Love. I think they'll go offense unless they trade up. Then maybe that could get squirrely. But yeah, I don't think Love. I don't know. I don't know if I believe this. I can't wrap my head around an NFL team taking Jeremiah Love in the top 5. I really just can't. And that's nothing against Jeremiah Love. I think he's a very good player, but I don't know. I just can't what's so good about Jeremiah Love that he should be a top 5 pick? And again, this is not saying he's bad. He's very, very good. But I just don't. I'm really just not an advocate for drafting a running back inside the top 5. And I don't think he's for as good as he is he on the level of a Bijan Robinson coming out? I don't think so. He's not a Barkley level, in my opinion. So I'm looking at guys that have gone that high recently, right? So I just don't know, if I take him in the top 5. And that's not taking anything away from him. I think he's very good. If I were Washington, I would take a receiver probably. If they stick it, say Washington stays at 7, I think you take the best receiver available unless something crazy happens with one of those guys that's supposed to go up there, and then they just go on a little bit of a slide. The Browns are a wild card because they pick 1 in front of Washington. I think I'm pretty tapped in to the Browns media. Shout out my unnamed sources. I do think the Browns want to trade back if at all possible. I think ideally they leave with an O lineman and a receiver tonight. I think that would be their plan with their 2 picks. I think they feel like they can probably move back a little bit and still come away with that. If I were Cleveland, I would probably look to trade back as well. Just give me some extra assets. They can probably get whoever they want anyways at like 12. Say Dallas wants to come up, say the Rams want to come up, say the Lions want to come up. I could see the Saints maybe making a move for number 3 or even moving up a couple spots to 6. I don't know. So that's kind of out. But I think Browns probably, of the teams in the top 10, Arizona and Cleveland most likely to trade down for sure. It's just kind of like who wants to come up and go get somebody. If the Browns take a offensive tackle first with their first pick, whether it's at 6 or they move down a little bit, if they take an O-lineman first, I think it's a lock and load. They're going to take Concepcion at 24. I think they like him a good bit. Pretty sure they had a meeting with him, and he's right around in that range. So that would be my best guess. If you see Browns take O-line, unless there's like a crazy slide or something, I think Concepcion probably most likely pick at 24. I don't know what the odds are on that. I don't think is there odds for the 24th pick somewhere? I don't know if I saw that on DraftKings or not. Oh yeah, there is. Let me see. 24. Yeah, I mean, he's literally the favorite right now at plus 350. I don't know. I might take a little stab on that, even though he's the favorite. Just from what I'm hearing, if they take an O-lineman first, I think he's top of their mind. Yeah, I like him a lot too, Dewan. I think he's good. Liked him a lot in college. As far as draft picks go, like betting and stuff, I haven't taken a ton this year. The thing that I like the most right now, I think Jacob Rodriguez, super underrated, especially after he ran pretty good, like tested really well not offensively, but athletically. So I think Rodriguez, it doesn't sound like most people think he's going to be a first round pick. I could see him sliding into the back end of the first round, and you're getting basically over 20-1 odds on him to go with any of those later picks. So I'm probably going to take some shots on Jacob Rodriguez, pick 26, 27, 28, 30, 32, maybe like Seattle takes him or something, or somebody moves up. I don't know. I kind of want to look at that just because I think he's good enough to be a first round pick. So when you're getting 20-1 odds, I could see one of those teams taking him at the back end of the first. So Jacob Rodriguez looks like a pretty good look for me. But that's about it. I do like Concepcion to the Browns potentially. I don't like 3-1 on that, but I do think he's their pick there if they take an O-lineman first. I'm trying to see if there was anything else that jumps out. I could definitely see Dallas moving up here. Dallas up to 6 to take like Caleb Downs or something would probably be my most likely trade up if someone is going to go up there, because they need DB help badly. I think Steve's in here. Let me add him in. Steve, how is it going today?
It's going pretty good. It's going pretty good today. It's busy, but we've got an exciting day ahead of us with the first round of the NFL draft. People are going bananas. I'm actually surprised you're not in Pittsburgh right now with your gimbal cruising around.
Yeah,
all those steelheads.
Yeah, it's not that far. Under 2 hours. I should have did that, honestly. Could have had some crazy content maybe, but there's also a huge card show, Steve, going on during the draft in Pittsburgh. So yeah.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Like not connected or connected?
they're not like, it's not like affiliated with the NFL, but it's like it's a huge one, like during the draft. Like
Oh,
the
very
draft's
cool.
going on, like come to the card show. So it's like it's right
Oh,
in downtown.
that would be right up my alley.
Yeah, I think you would have a blast. I think it's like 400 or 500 tables, like a huge card show.
Just picked up a new one.
Oh, what do we got here?
Zane Perek,
Wow.
Young Guns. Yeah.
Nice.
I try to buy them all early so you can get a good deal on them before they become something. You get a few misses,
Yeah.
but if you know the sport, okay, so can we jump in? I know you were already talking about the draft.
Yeah.
But when we were at FSGA, our mutual friend Eric Froton had a Mackay Lemon, and he bought it for what, $7? Was that it? $12 including shipping.
Yeah, something
and
like that.
They were selling for $250. I was a bit surprised you had them going at 11. Why do you have them so low?
Yeah, I just don't see. I personally have him number 1 in this draft. Personally, me at receiver, but I think it sounds like Tate and Tyson are going to go before him. But I have Lemon number 1 personally. I don't have a problem with him. I'm lowest on Tyson, honestly, probably of anyone. I don't know. He's gotten super hyped the last 2 weeks. Today the reports are he's probably going to be the first receiver taken. I don't know. I'm a little bit lower on him personally. I don't think he's bad, but I did not have him first or second. So I would be surprised at that, but I guess that's kind of how it's trending. It sounds like anyways.
I thought it was like, imagine Mackay in Los Angeles.
Yeah, I think the Rams are going to get crazy.
That'd be dynamic.
Yeah. They know they have a very small window with Stafford left. I think they're trying to make the most of it. So I could see and they kind of lucked into getting this pick, right? Because of the trade that they made last year. So I could see, honestly, if the Rams want to get crazy, I could see the Rams getting up here to the 3rd pick, trading up. I really could see that happening. I think the Rams are a team to watch tonight for sure. That would just be insane. The Rams moving all the way up, top 5, and they could take anybody. I don't think they would trade up to take a running back, but I think Jeremiah Love maybe could be on their radar. I think a receiver definitely on their radar. So I think they like Sadiq too, the tight end, which is he's pretty dynamic. So I don't know. I'm definitely going to be – that's one of the teams I'm watching closest tonight. I'm interested.
Cool. Well, it's going to be exciting. It always is. It's always a spectacle.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited. If you guys have questions on anything, I know, Dewan, you said Bailey might fall. I know. I've seen I can't figure it out. It sounds like he might fall. Then some people are locked in that the Jets are taking him at 2. There's just no way I believe that, but whatever. I've seen a lot of people have this is coming from an Ohio State fan. There's just no way you can take Caleb Downs over Styles. I don't see that, but I could be wrong. A lot of smoke around Ty Simpson stuff today too, so I don't know. We'll see what happens. I do want to talk some hockey as well with you, Steve.
Okay, let's do it.
I'm going to pull up Unabated. What's kind of your thoughts on just everything that's gone on so far? What's your biggest takeaways thus far?
Well, I'd say the biggest one is I'm a bit surprised that the Flyers are.
I was going to say it has to be Flyers are just dominating right now.
They kind of came in as I expected, the same way they finished the year. They got a young team. They're rolling. But I just thought that the Penguins would, we knew, going into game 3, it's going to be 2-1. I thought they would be able to sneak at least one game out. And as the game goes on, you've got all these cagey veterans for the Penguins that they would start to figure it out against these young kids. And it's interesting, like Lauren said to me yesterday, are you watching the Penguins game? It looks like they're having a meeting in the penalty box. There's 11 guys in the penalty box. And then Zegras scored off of that power play. And I was just like, how are the Penguins getting sucked in to all this Pennsylvania madness? Like, you guys are supposed to be the veterans.
Yeah.
So that's probably been the biggest surprise for me so far, is that the Flyers are just running all over the Penguins.
Yeah, I was pretty surprised by that too. The Flyers fans are just going crazy too. And you know how those Philly fans get.
Yeah. So and they're like I don't know if they're competing with the Sabres fans, but it's definitely wild. I remember, like, the only time, like, I've been to Philly once. And I did not go to a game, but I remember leaving. I forget where I was during that week, and there was like a bunch of fans that were coming out of the, like, we must have been downtown. We didn't go to the game. We were doing something else. We were at a bar, and then they came out, and I was like, these Flyers fans are nuts. Like, if you were the opposing team wearing a jersey in that arena, I'd be terrified to get beaten up.
I don't. It might just be something with Pennsylvania, man, because I've heard stories a lot of my friends that, big Ohio State fans, and they will always tell me, like, they've never been scared going to an opposing game other than a night game at Penn State whiteout. Like, they were like, we were literally scared. So maybe there's something in the water in Pennsylvania. I don't know.
Just like no fear of punishment. If
Yeah, like they're just gonna, I don't know. Sabres have been electric. The crowd, that was awesome. That comeback in game 1 was sick. That was super fun. Carolina, I think, is going about as we expected when we were kind of talking about it quickly last week. The Habs stealing that game 1.
Yeah, that series is great. It's electric. If you like good hockey, that's great hockey. I guess the other, just talking about surprises for me, is the Stars Wild series. First game was an absolute blowout, and then the Wild have picked up game 2. I definitely didn't expect that. Like, I knew that they would put up a fight, but I wouldn't expect that the Stars would leave home ice and head to Minnesota down 0-2. Like, you're in trouble.
Yeah, that was
like, imagine the Stars get bounced in round 1.
Wait, are they not up 2-1?
Yeah, they are now. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Oh, you're saying like
going
after game 1. Yeah. Oh, for sure. Yeah, I was surprised. I was gonna message you about that because that was like, obviously I put the bet in after we were talking about it. Then they instantly went down 1-0. I was like, oh my Lord, here we go. But they had to scrap for that one last night, man.
Yeah, it was a brawl. So yeah, I don't know. I'm still really high on the Stars, and I think they can still come back. But like I said, I was just shocked coming out of the first 2 games that they were down 0-2 and got smoked in the first one.
Yeah, Chris says Wild look like the better team. Do you have any thoughts on that, Steve? They've been playing tough, man. Yeah, they've been playing tough.
Can't disagree. And like Michael McCarron looks like these. It's funny because there's all these like 6'6" guys in the NHL now who have like skill, who are taking over. Like Calgary's Godwin Klapka, Protas in Washington, and his brother. So yeah, I don't know. Maybe we were wrong about Dallas. I don't know. You look at Dallas on paper, you're like,
yeah, I agree.
A great squad, top to bottom.
I'm going to tell you what, I need the Golden Knights in the worst way. What are your thoughts there? Because I was feeling they scored pretty quick into game 2. I was like, okay, here we go. Like, we're going to be up 2-0, and then that just didn't work out. So now it's 1-1.
I thought they looked really good. Like, again,
I still think they played well.
Hockey's tough. Like, you can outplay a team and not score, not be able to beat the goalie, and you lose. And even if you look at the play that they scored the go-ahead goal, like Logan Cooley scored something like 9 times in 10 games versus the Knights, which is insane productivity against one team. it was a bit of a lost puck because it came strangely off the side of the net back out front, and right on Cooley's stick, who just shot an open net. Like, that's a bit of a fortunate bounce. But other than that, I felt like Vegas really, really pushed and were unlucky that they didn't score. Carl Helmelka played really, really well. But Vegas, I think, is in still a good spot. Like, if you look at Utah, I like Utah because they're ex, Arizona, and obviously watched them very closely for a long time. But I just feel like they're too young. Like, they're just not quite weathered yet to go on a run. So I just can't see them beating Vegas, in 7 games.
Yeah, I agree with that. But so I did a big parlay. So I did Cavs to beat the Raptors and then Vegas to beat Utah. So Cavs are looking good. I'm gonna have to sweat out
too bad.
The Golden Knights now. Yeah, that's just the Raptors just got in front of a buzzsaw, honestly.
Well, and I don't know. They don't look very good either. They don't look like the same team that was hot throughout the season. I know they kind of cooled off in the end, but they just don't look the same. I don't know. I know that they've got some injuries and guys are banged up.
Quickly was out, so that was affecting because he is a scorer. But the Cavs' problem is like they hadn't been healthy all year, and if you look at their starting lineup when healthy of Mitchell, basically it's not even their full starting lineup, just the foursome of Harden, Mitchell, Jared Allen, and Mobley. When those 4 are on the court, just off the offensive numbers are off the charts. So it's really, really tough for any team to stop them. And then they just hadn't been healthy all season together. So now that they are, they're kind of getting acclimated. The bench is still a little suspect in my opinion. So we'll see how that translates later on. I'm assuming they move past Toronto. So once they get into these other series, other guys are going to have to step up. So we'll see. But I do agree. Toronto just doesn't look as good as they did early in the season. Brandon Ingram. Yeah. Dean Wade has Brandon Ingram in a suitcase, just shutting that guy down. Can't do anything. All right. For hockey tonight, any looks here? So we've got Buffalo at Boston. Boston's slight favorites. -115. Carolina, Ottawa. Ottawa is slight favorites at home.
Yeah, they always pick the home team.
Yeah, and then Colorado and the Kings. Colorado's still favored over LA, even on the road, -160.
Yeah. The interesting thing about that Colorado LA series is obviously Colorado is up, but it hasn't been. And one of the things that I looked at the odds at the the series start for picking Colorado, and I was like, it's just not worth the risk. They're too lopsided, like the return. And the interesting in the NHL is that anybody can beat anybody in some of these series. Like we talked about your Columbus Blue Jackets upsetting the Tampa Bay Lightning a few years back. Best team in hockey, one of the best teams ever, and they were out in 4. So the funny part about that series is Colorado's not running away with it. And LA is just playing that LA muck it up style. So, I think that, picking the Kings in some of these games going forward, particularly at home, is a good value bet. I'm not guaranteeing they're going to win, but they've got a better chance than I think people gave them at the start of the series. In a single game. They're not going to win the whole series.
They were both 2-1, right? Both games?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you could they could pick off a game and just lose it in 5 or whatever. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, they could pick a game off. Do you remember? I want to check. I've honestly forgot about this, but I want to see if it's hit in these games. The system play was just betting the last 2 years. Was just betting the first period over in Oilers playoff games. So it hit Monday.
They definitely scored the first one on last night.
So it's over 1.5 first period. So Monday that hit They scored 2 in the first period. Let me see. Where's the first game at? When did they play their first game?
Monday.
Oh, okay.
Because they started late.
Yeah, that makes sense. And then yesterday they played, and it did hit yesterday too. This is the greatest bet of all time because they've played the Kings the last like 2 or 3 years in the playoffs, and they've been like long series. And I think last year I went back and looked, and it was like 86% of their playoff games against the Kings went over 1.5 in the first period, and it was always priced at like -120. It was never like super juicy, but now they've both hitting this too. So I don't know. We might need to tap back into this and start riding this again.
Is Aiden listening? He's probably like
I don't know.
losing
I
his
don't know if
mind at the roller coaster.
I don't know if I told Aiden about it last year. I'd have to go back and like find it, but it's some like insane percentage because I just bet it every single Oilers playoff game the last like 2 years, and then I forgot about it, and now I'm mad because it hit both games. So might jump back on that train. Do you have anything else you want to touch on? Any Mike Vrabel takes?
I don't really know what's going on. Like, I just think this is, for any of those that watch Bravo, this seems like the, like, because my wife watched it. I watch it too.
Oh,
the
yeah,
West Amanda
yeah.
Scamanda. Like, it just seems like that type of scenario. I don't know if they really got caught cheating or what, but it doesn't look good.
No, him going to counseling would tell me that there's going to be other people coming forward, I think. Because I like when it first started, it was very much like, oh, it's nothing, she's a friend, blah blah blah. And then it changed very quickly to him saying I had to have difficult conversations with my family, and now he's, it was very publicly noted today that he's going to take himself to counseling. So that tells me like they're trying to get ahead of something. I feel like would be my best guess.
Well, and then she like quit her job.
Yeah.
And she essentially was like, this is all not true, but
of course, this is all alleged, but
yeah, I also just feel like I shouldn't work here and subject myself to, the torture of the media and the internet. And I was kind of like, well, if it wasn't true, why would you quit your job?
Yeah, I mean, also, like, I don't know. Like, if you are in a public setting like that for your career, it's like, if you're going to do stuff like that, allegedly, the consequences, right? Like you fully are aware of what is going to happen, especially in today's age, the internet, right?
Yeah.
Like that, if you get found out, it's going to be a big deal and it's going to get memed into oblivion. Like that's just how it works now. Like you have to be fully aware of that.
Well, like I'm surprised that anyone would do any of that in public. If you were a public person.
Yeah, that's why I'm like, it's like you want to get caught almost. Like, what are you doing?
Or they don't care.
I guess that.
Or they've done it a whole bunch of times and then nothing happened.
They're like a criminal. It's like you keep getting away with it, so then they get.
We all watched the Coldplay concert.
Mm-hmm.
Like we know what happens.
Yeah, like. I don't know. I don't understand it.
That guy was in like a box by himself with his mistress and his other employees.
I will say, I used to back in the day before social media was crazy, very frequently on the ESPN message boards, and I remember specifically stories about her when she covered the Commanders or former Redskins back in the day. So I don't know. I guess not surprised, but all alleged. So I don't know. Just hilarious.
Anyways,
this is what
the other thing too is I'm also like, I have no idea about her personal lives. Like who cares? Like they're
I also think it's funny.
I
don't understand why people make such a big deal about it, other than like the fact of people, it just gets memed like so hard on like Twitter and
Yeah.
stuff, which I understand that. But the actual people that like if you're like a diehard fan or something and you're like letting this like affect your like thinking of something, I don't understand that. Like literally
Yeah.
the stuff that you don't know that goes on is 1,000 times worse than whatever you find out about of anything. So
Yeah.
like you think any of those like players or anything, they're just like the most upstanding individuals. Like I'm sure, right?
No. Not when you have like temptation thrown at you all the time. Like,
Yeah, that's like
talking about the Pittsburgh Penguins, like it's crazy to me that Sidney Crosby there's never even like a discussion. There's never like he never does anything wrong. And he's at the age now where he's probably not going to ever do anything wrong.
Yeah.
Like it's crazy. And then you have like the other end of the spectrum, like Tiger Woods just cannot keep it together.
Oh, poor Tiger, man. He's got to get in. He's got to correct this over there, man. Come on.
Yeah. I heard he went to rehab or something.
Yes, I did hear. I think this is like the fourth or fifth time, honestly, probably. But yes, I did hear that as well. I wanted to see him at the Masters, man. He couldn't come on. He had to make it like 2 weeks.
Yeah, but he just couldn't stop popping the pills and going for a cruise.
I think he I don't know, man. That's just crazy. It ruined the greatest bet of all time is Tiger to make the cut at the Masters. Like the last couple times that he's played, it's the best. That's the best sweat that you can have.
One of my golf buddies, he went on a podcast and just was going on about Tiger, how he's going to win this year, and then the next day the news came out.
Oh, is he cursed? Is your friend cursed?
Yeah. I thought it was hilarious. And then because they posted
win is
whatever
crazy. He could have made the cut, but I don't think winning is that's a little crazy. I don't think that.
Yeah, Justin Rose looks like a spring tick. I know there's 10 years difference in age, but
yeah, Rose is like Tiger can still play. He just can't walk. Like him to walk 4 rounds there would have been tough. It would have been tough.
He needs a scooter.
Yeah, well, he can go play in the Champions Tour. I think they can have carts on the Champions Tour. Someone can correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure you can have a cart there.
Whatever happened to Paul Casey? Where's he these days?
Paul Casey. Didn't he go to live, I thought?
I haven't heard his name in ages.
Yeah, he's live.
Because wasn't he injured for a bit and he had to get an exemption to ride in a cart or?
I don't know.
I'm thinking of somebody else.
He used to piss me off. He was one of the top guys that he just would make me so angry. Anytime you bet on him, he would just never clutch. I hate that guy, actually, now that I think about it.
He's a great golfer, but yeah, he would fold under pressure.
Yeah. No, yeah, very good, obviously. I think he won what? He probably won a couple. He probably has a couple PGA wins.
Oh yeah, for sure. I remember him. I can't remember if he beat him in the end, but at Pebble Beach, there was like this legendary down the stretch. I think it was Phil Mickelson and him. And Phil was complaining that it was too dark and taking his time so that they had to play a playoff the next day. And Paul Casey was losing his mind.
Oh, some of those are so funny. Yeah. Matt Kuchar's done that before. I do not like Matt Kuchar. He's made people come back the next day when he wasn't even. He's 4 shots back, Yeah. Dude, what do you honestly care? You're not gonna win. I don't understand these guys, but yeah, Paul Casey screwed me over a couple times late in those tournaments. I forgot about him. Speaking of that, before we, I think you want to look at our baseball teams or something.
Yeah,
but
baseball.
Yeah, we'll take a look. But do you have any thoughts on this live drama? I still don't really know what's fully going on there. Are they gonna fold? Are they not? I don't think they're gonna fold, but I think the funding. I don't know. Somebody in chat might know more than me. I haven't been.
Here's the problem. I can quickly, from my perspective, share what's going on. So you have this money printing machine in the Middle East. They have, through the war, damaged some of the oil facilities. I can't remember exactly which countries have been affected by now, but in some cases it's like 20% of production has come offline, and it will take 5 years to return to normal levels, repair the facilities, get everything going again. As I mentioned previously, like this is where my dad worked previously when I was in high school. And so if you look at it in the Middle Eastern countries, Saudi in particular, who's doing a lot of this sponsoring, they're reinvesting a lot of that money from energy to diversify. And they've got huge amounts because, like, right now, the world has like 6 weeks of jet fuel left because most of the jet fuel comes from the Middle East. And with the Strait of Hormuz closed, there's no flow of jet fuel. The second piece is that some critical infrastructure has been hit, and they're going to have to rebuild it. It's going to cost money. So they're not going to have a whole bunch of extra dollars to continue to invest in things at a loss to try to build up and diversify over time. So you look at, Live, I think they're in trouble because if you're going to have to cut something, what are you going to cut? You're probably going to cut Live. You might even kill the Saudi soccer league too. Like, I don't know what Cristiano Ronaldo is going to do. Or maybe that's doing well enough that they would keep that going. And I've also heard, this is on podcasts, and I was in one meeting that someone was talking about it, so take it with a grain of salt, is I've heard that they pulled all of the venture capital off the table too. So they're not investing in tech startups and companies because they know that they've got to use that capital to rebuild at home. So yeah, I've said it before, I like Live quite a bit. This week we've got the Zurich Classic. It's one of the only team events in the PGA Tour. I love team golf. I think they should do more team golf. I think it would get more of these big names to come and show up if they had a team and they were playing with their buddies. And so there's some concepts there. I love the fact that it's a shotgun, that it's not going to be a full day for some of these lesser tournaments. They get it over in 4 hours. It's done. It's off. Like, that round is done in 4 hours. I love that they have music and it's a party, and it makes some of these lesser events more interesting. We don't want to affect the traditional ones, the majors, kind of the signature events. I think those, they don't need to be touched. But there's a lot of weeks, in on the PGA Tour where it's not that interesting, and they could incorporate some of the things from Live. So I hope that there's a deal in the works, that the PGA, absorbs Live, brings those golfers back, that they incorporate some of those elements. But we'll see.
Yeah, I definitely think, at least the bigger guys will definitely be back. But I still see what happens.
When are we going to get PGA team golf though?
Yeah, I like this event too. Like, I like the Zurich. I think it's fun. It's fun to watch. There's been some times in recent years, like once they switched it to what it is now, which I think was around like 2017, 2018. There's been some pretty good finishes too, with it coming down to the wire. I remember Kevin Kisner one year, I think, chipped in on the second, or either the second to last or the last hole. He chipped in to tie, so then they went to a playoff. So there's been some exciting finishes, and I think it's fun to watch too. So yeah, I'll be interested to kind of see what changes are made once those guys get brought back in, because there's already going to be changes made to the golf schedule next year. Like, they already confirmed now that the Hawaii swing is basically done, so they won't be doing those Hawaii tournaments. So the season's going to start later, because those were always in January. So it's going to start a little bit later, and then I don't know, it's probably going to be kind of like a big start. Like, I think they want to like really focus on the players being like a starting point of the season. So like the build up to the players is going to just really be like pushed and marketed. if I had to guess.
Yeah, I would agree.
All right. As far as baseball goes, you and I, like in this league, we're always side by side. We were last year. We are again this year. You're up a point on me right now in the standings. We are always somehow right next to each other.
Well, I'm down right now. I was yesterday.
Oh, are you?
You've
No,
gone
no.
up
You're
10.
Oh yeah, we're dead even now. 56-56 is what I see.
I've got a half point lower than you. Must be from real time.
Oh, okay, yeah. Yeah. I don't know how we're always right next to each other though. Like, what are the odds of that?
They're colluding for averageness.
Yeah, they're colluding for 9th and 10th place.
Oh, I lost you.
All right, I can see the.
You can see the standings. I've lost you. So let me see if I can. So yeah. Anyways, you can speak to it, but I'm trying to find.
Yeah. So. I don't know. Like. This league, it's really just so hard for me. I'm not gonna lie. So Chad, if you guys don't know, I really, growing up, baseball was kind of my biggest fantasy sport that I grew up playing. And when I first started making content in the industry, it was baseball content initially, basically, for daily fantasy. So that's really like my bread and butter. But I have never in my life played in a rotisserie baseball league. That's just not what I played growing up. I always played either head-to-head like categories or points. So getting in here and playing in these like competitive leagues against other people that have played rotisserie baseball for like 30 years, it's hard, man. I don't know. I still have just not got it down. I haven't. I don't know.
I would agree. Well, okay, let's analyze it. So I've got the data in SportWise. We'll pull it up. So the first thing I want to do is I want to pull up Game Day and Us. So Game Day is the leader right now, and I've got my Z-score composite that takes all of the categories, normalizes the data across the standard deviation, and then ranks the product of each of those individual category rankings. And so the part that I find interesting is Game Day is number one, and they are like across the board, with the exception of RBIs, like
that's a pretty big
top
lead
of the like that
on on everyone.
And then you look at their team: 1 player, 2 players, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 in the top 20. But they don't have any of the real, like O'Neal Cruz is I think the best player right now in the league so far. But other than that, like, you would think that our teams stack up fairly well. Got a chunk of players here in the middle here. And then if you do the same thing and you look at pitching, I have to come in here and oops. Why is pitching not showing up? Must have some other filter on.
It doesn't want you to expose that we should be higher up in the standings.
I think it was this. There we go. There's that a filter on that. But if you look at pitching, it's like, I guess 1, 2, 3. I've got 3. There's a chunk right here. Then you've got a whole bunch of pitchers, and I got a couple more. So it's not like, The Miz, okay, good one. Yamamoto, good one. Robbie Ray, maybe. Skubal, yes. Messick, no.
Yeah, Parker
Gavin
Messick
Williams
has been insane.
Yeah. So, I guess there's a couple of picks here that maybe there'll be a regression. But the interesting thing to your point is, like, if you look at how to win these leagues. It's about hitting all those categories. And it doesn't necessarily mean that you have to have all the top players.
Yeah. I'm still like trying to get it down. Last year I was like top 5 last year in like June, and then the wheels just like really fell off.
Yeah. Well, if you have any injuries, you're pooped.
Yeah.
And
my pitching already had injuries, right? Like I took Savage, he's been out. Pepiot, I took pretty high. He got injured pretty soon after we drafted, and then he's been out. And then Cody Ponce as well from Toronto got hurt in his that was like his first start, wasn't it? He hurt his knee or something.
Yeah, he fell off the mound.
Yeah, so like I will say at least the number one thing I was most convicted about was Murakami. So I'm glad at least he has proven me right. Thank you, Murakami. 10 home runs already. I think he's homered in like 5 straight right now. This guy's unbelievable. So at least if I stink, at least I was right about that.
Yeah. Yeah, he's got a 10 in batter ranking, which is pretty good. O'Neill Cruz is 15, so 10 is
that's
good.
Nuts. To think that O'Neill Cruz is doing as well as he is after that disaster of a first game. Like, that's such a bad omen to do that in your first game of the season. The fact that he rebounded and has done what he's done is pretty crazy.
Yeah, totally.
I mean, he's got what 7? He has 10 steals already.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
And like, who's Sal Stewart?
Yeah, he's a young guy for the Reds. He tore up spring training, so he actually got drafted a little bit higher than like he probably should have, just because he did so well in spring training. But then, yeah, he's carried that right over into the regular season. He's been unbelievable.
Well, and do you think he'll be able to keep it up? Like, does he have a high enough pedigree?
Yeah, he was a back end of the first round pick. So
yeah, it's a high pick.
Yeah,
anywhere in the first round in major leagues baseball is good high pedigree. I find it interesting because I picked Spencer Torkelson in my other league, and man, that guy just can't figure it out. Like, he had a decent end of the season last year, and I was like, oh man, this is going to be the year he's going to turn into a superstar, and he has been a dud.
Yeah, I've been waiting for him to kind of ascend too, and he just hasn't. Sal Stewart last year at AAA hit .315 and that's in 38 games.
Wow. That's
pretty good counting stats. Yeah, he looks pretty good. He's been unbelievable.
I just want to show you how bad Spencer Torkelson is. Oh my! He's below average. He's below average of all the players who play baseball in the major
first
league.
overall pick.
There's a lot of guys who play baseball. There's a lot of journeymen who get games. That's crazy to me.
First overall pick has just never. He honestly wasn't that bad last year.
No, he was good. He looked like he was turning it around.
Yeah, like he really struggled up until then. But then last year, hit 240, 31 home runs. Yeah, you kind of thought he was turning the corner, and then he has not been good to start the season. Only 1 home run too is insane.
So let's look at your team and who are you going to drop? Who are you looking to replace?
I really wanted I mean, Cal Raleigh, Nick Castellanos, I already did drop him. So this just isn't updated. I think I dropped him, I don't know, a couple days ago. He's gone.
Interesting. I thought I updated it today.
He's been eliminated from my roster.
I'll have to look at that.
How is Jacob Marcy this high up in this ranking? What is making him rank that well?
Who am I looking at?
Jacob Marcy right there, 7.789 on your batter ranking.
Oh, gotcha. With a K.
Yeah.
Jakob.
Yeah.
He's played a lot of games. His per at bat is not great.
No, that's why I'm like, I was about to say he needs to get
he's
dropped,
got
but
9
he's not.
stolen bases.
Yeah,
That's why.
that's literally the only thing that he's
That's why.
doing good.
Yeah, because he'd be a category leader in stolen bases. So
Okay.
that's
Yeah, that makes
exactly why.
sense then.
So everything else is average. Even his per batter ranking isn't great. Like this is not a fantastic, like he's gonna drop a couple spots there. But it's 100% because he has 9 stolen bases. And
Yeah,
stolen bases is a
yeah,
fairly
that's
rare
the only
category.
reason why he's still on my team. He would have got dropped. I can tell you that right now. Chris, he looks pretty good, honestly. That guy that started for the Twins last night, I used him on DraftKings last night. He was like minimum priced. He only threw 4 innings, but
What's his
yeah.
name?
He's got a weird last name. It's like Connor Prelip or something.
Connor?
Like Prielipp.
No, it's not fun. I'm looking here.
I think that was his first start. I'm pretty sure of the season.
He might not be on here.
Yeah, I don't. There you go. Yeah, yeah. He just made his first start last night. I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
But yeah, he looks solid. He looks solid. So yeah, I don't know. I need to get rid of some of these jokers. I can tell you that. Justin Sterner, I dropped. I thought he could maybe get some saves that didn't end up working out. So he's gone. Castellanos gone. Ozuna gone. Terrible. Bum. The Pirates actually aren't playing that good, that bad. So I'm kind of surprised he hasn't been doing better because I thought maybe he could hit in the middle of the lineup and get like some RBIs and home runs. But yeah, that hasn't been the case.
Yeah.
Matt Olson needs to wake up.
Yeah. I remember I had him in my he was my first round pick last year in my other league. That's where I had the foibles during the draft where I couldn't get the button and then it auto picked.
Yeah.
And then I complained. So they reset it, but my draft, because I auto-picked, had turned into auto-picked, and so it just kept repeatedly auto-picked, and then finally they're like, you get Matt Olson, okay? And I was like, God damn it.
I like Matt Olson too, so he needs to wake up.
Well, other guys like Austin Riley's been good. So what's going on?
I don't know. He did hit a home run the other night. I think that was 2 nights ago, so maybe he's turned it around.
I think it's hilarious that he's top of the ladder.
He's been playing good, man. That catch in Game 7 of the World Series, it just gave him all the confidence in the world. Now he's arrived.
Superstar.
Yeah, I guess so.
Better than all those other $60 million bums.
Yeah, he's doing better. He's playing better than most of their quote unquote star players.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy that you got Muncy, Paez, and then rushing, and then you get to Tucker, Ohtani.
Dude, rushing's been really good.
Yeah, I thought this actually. I totally forgot, and I've also got Mookie, who's been terrible. Talk about, the interesting thing is his per game isn't bad, but his per at bat, but obviously just the injuries. Like, what is going on here?
Yeah, he's getting older, just like happens to the best of them, I guess.
I had him previously, and I kind of forgot that he ended up in Los Angeles.
Yeah, he's good.
It doesn't have a ton of games played, but looks good.
He needs to play more. Yeah, he just needs to play more. When he plays, he does it good.
Yeah, I would agree. And so why don't you think he's playing more? Like, why would they?
I don't know. They have so many weird play other people, I guess. Kind of like a log jam.
Yeah, true. Like, I don't know why they've given Rojas.
They're kind of that's it's great. Obviously, I'm not complaining about having Ohtani, but that's the problem about it is he's occupying the DH every single time. So you're really strapped with what you can do positionally because you really can't take. Not that I'm not saying that Hai-Sung Kim would DH, but I'm just saying you don't have the option to get some of those other guys in the lineup because Ohtani's going to DH every single time because he can't play in the field. So you're kind of strapped with that.
Yeah. I would just trade him. I'd get rid of Otani.
Yeah, they should trade him. Trade him to Toronto for.
So let's look at my team.
Trade him for Shane Bieber.
And
Colson Montgomery's been pretty good the last week.
I've got him in 2, and he's been great. I had him on the bench for some of that firepower. The other guy I actually lost in my other league was Michael Harris. He had a big game on Sunday, and
he did. He hit a home run last night too, I think.
Yeah, I think I had him in last night. But the big one for me is Wyatt Langford. He was obviously my second pick behind Paul Skeens. Was he second or third? Can't remember. But I picked the 2 outfielders after Paul Skeens.
Yeah.
We just got to figure out what's going on with him. I don't get it.
I know, man. It's like it's gonna be like a Royce Lewis situation where it's like he can be so good and he just gets hurt. It's still early, but that's what we're trending towards because now we're going 2 years in a row.
Yeah, and the funny part is Royce Lewis, although he was injured for a period of time this year, not that bad.
Xander Bogaerts just hit a home run too, literally 5 seconds ago.
Ooh, I like that.
Yeah. Look, chat, you heard it here first. I already made this comp. And look, this is the arc that we're on for Mr. Wyatt Langford. And I hate to say that, but that's what's going to happen.
Yeah, not good.
And it's unfortunate.
Well, we're middle of the pack. I've got a whole swack of injuries.
I need more pitching help, man.
I got Edwin's injured, Snell's injured.
Snell, yeah.
Estevez is injured.
That was a disaster. I'm willing to say that was a disaster pick. Not that it was a bad pick, just how it's turning out right now.
Which one, Snell or Estevez?
Estevez, yeah.
Yes,
that's bordering on disaster right now.
That's Willie Adamus level. Is when I pick him 4th or 5th round.
Yep. It's like the same thing, but you're just getting burned again.
Well, it's actually probably more like my Max Fried pick from a bunch of years ago where they were really beating me up for picking him. And the funny part is it's like, well, we never actually got to find out if it was a good pick or a bad pick because Max Fried was injured the entire year.
Yeah. No, 100%.
That could be Carlos. But then Jackson Churio, he was, I think, my 2nd round pick. He's been injured entire season. So Mookie Betts is injured. Yeah, I got a lot of guys in the IL. My other league, we have 3 IL spots. I think I have 6 guys on the IL. 6 guys I don't want to drop.
You're just using bench spots on them.
Yeah, because I've got a bench spot pitcher for Lodolo in Cincinnati because I'm like I can't drop him. If I drop him, you can't pick up in that league. You can't pick up an injured player. But there's Hawks who I swear they get up at 2:50 in the morning to check who's coming off the IR and pick guys up. So it's baseball's been tough this year for me. But I did want to end on a high note for the listeners, for chat. That one pool where I didn't know the scoring to start, drafted based on last year's scoring, even though they changed it, didn't tell me. Ultimately ended up pulling out the victory.
Yeah, that's big time. That's a big win right there.
Yeah, knocked off first, second, and third.
That's insane. What's a gauntlet too?
Well, and the only reason why I won is because second place, who I played in the first week, he had Kucherov. Kucherov was injured for that week. I only beat him by a couple points. I don't think I would have made it out of that week. But the other 2 guys I handled handedly. All I did, because it's a points league, I just made sure I had way more games played than them.
Yeah, it took you a little bit, but that's how you do it.
You get her done.
Mike, Denzel Boston gives you Arcega Whiteside PTSD. I don't think Denzel Boston is very good, Mike. I agree with you. So hopefully Howie's not really falling into that trap. I would rather them take Omar Cooper if they're going to take a receiver down there. But I could see O-line, honestly. Mike, would not be surprised if the Eagles take O-line. But I agree with you. I don't think Denzel Boston's very good, personally. That's my opinion. But the Eagles are going to trade for Myles Garrett, if you guys saw my bold prediction. I really got in the trenches with my investigative journalism there, but I know that if Andrew Berry trades Myles Garrett, he would love to help out his buddy Howie Roseman. So I think this is just a matter of time before this happens.
Well, what does that mean for my Cleveland Browns?
Oh, I don't know. It's time they're gonna just stink, I guess, again. Chat, we might run it back. Biggest bet of my life was last year Browns under 5.5 wins at 1. We'll just do it again.
Not with Shedeur at the helm.
We'll just roll it over and we'll just put our winnings on the under again. They'll stink for the rest of my life.
Like, the funny part is if they kept Myles and they ran Shedeur out there for a full season, they might make the playoffs.
Yeah, never know. The Bengals. Oh man, I don't want to go off on these teams right now. We'll save that for next week. Next week we'll get a full rage session from me after the draft. I'll just be roasting these teams, but
we'll know who's been traded and
yeah. I'm excited. I hope there's some deals tonight. Hopefully some surprises. Hopefully Jacob Rodriguez sneaks into the back end of the first round and we hit a 20-1 bet on that. Good luck, chat, tonight.
Good luck
if you're playing anything.
Enjoy a root beer, cream soda.
Yep. And see everybody tomorrow.
Yep. Bye, buddy.